It sounds like the microphone is going through your small intestine, Terrence.
Bro, because the more I eat, the more energy I'm getting. Because it's literally fucking caffeine and cereal. And I don't know why they did this. Because now I'm getting a fucking huge boost. And I can't fucking stop thinking. I'm going like a mile a fucking minute now.
All right,
Jesus
so
Christ.
we're gonna help. Okay, so what I need you to
No way,
do,
because these are really good, and I'm fucking, I
they're
can't
amazing.
stop
They're
eating them
amazing.
now.
Now think about it. Think about how good they'll be in the future. If not, because like you're gonna eat about them all now, right?
Huh?
And then it's like then they're all gonna be gone. You're gonna be thinking about them. You're gonna be reminiscing about them. You get hungry. So you can eat some later. You know, they close the bag and they're not going anywhere. At least don't. Well, actually, I'm not gonna say they're not going anywhere. At least hide it or something. I don't know. But, you know,
Feed it to your
let the
dog.
energy burn out first.
Feed it to your dog.
He's still eating them.
Right here's crunch. What
Yeah,
is
that's
what is the cereal called, Terrence?
um. I think it's crack. He's on.
Mm.
Dunkin' Mocha Latte cereal.
Oh yeah, so
Mocha
crack.
latte.
Okay,
Okay, so it's chocolate and coffee cereal. Got you.
chocolate and coffee.
Yeah, that's what mocha
Yeah.
is. I think mocha is just like chocolate flavored coffee. I could be wrong. Let me look that up right
I
now.
mean, I can't eat too much chocolate at once. I can't do it.
What is
But
mocha? Mocha.
and if it's
A
that
cafe
good,
mocha. Oh, so it's a mochaccino. It's a chocolate flavored variant of the mocha latte. I mean the cafe latte, commonly served in a glass. Other other commonly used spellings are mochaccino, also mochaccino. The name was derived from the city of Mocha, Yemen, which is one of the centers of early coffee trade. Optional ingredients: cinnamon, chocolate syrup, marshmallow, and chan- chantilly chantilly cream. So yeah, coffee and chocolate.
That's funny because they do have little marshmallows in the thing.
Yeah, got that mocha. But yeah, I don't know how to segue from that. But welcome to another episode of Last Podcast. Um, we are we are the podcast that is last. My name is Brooks.
that's for last, sir.
My name is Terrence.
And my name, let me read my note card real quick. Carson. Yep.
No card. This isn't scripted, or
I know.
is
I
it?
just forget sometimes.
All right, let me take my sip of water and get this thing started. Gulp. All right,
Whoa. You did not need to do that, bro.
all right. So, how are you guys doing today?
I'm doing.
Mm,
Coffee.
coffee. Nice. I need some coffee. I need some coffee today. I'm not feeling very energetic today. Today was very pretty tiring, pretty work oriented. Very
Mm. Coffee's kind of bitter for me, but like,
mhm,
I didn't really have it with sweetener yet, so I don't know.
mm,
I gotta try it again.
yeah, it depends on my mood, because like I only drink black coffee. Like if I make it myself, I'll
That's
just
the
make
that's the that's the worst one. Like when it
nah.
comes to like bitterness, like sheesh.
I like the
Mm.
taste of like the natural taste of coffee. But like sometimes, well, most of the time, like if I'm drinking coffee like outside the house, that's when I drink it like with creamer and a little bit of sugar.
Mm.
Maybe a little sprinkle of cinnamon. Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes. Yeah, but yeah, for
I'm honestly like I'm more of like tea, hot chocolate kind of guy. You feel
yeah, I feel yeah, tea. I
me?
drink my tea at night, like when I'm going to bed.
Me too, personally, because I used to be a coffee kind of person, but I stopped drinking coffee.
I drink tea at any time of the day. To be completely honest,
Yeah, I'm a tea person now at this point. I love green tea, herbal teas, black and white tea.
Lemongrass goes crazy. Ginger go crazy.
Weird.
Pretty good for your systems and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ginger goes crazy in general. Ginger candies, snap.
Bro, them UK niggas going crazy with that Earl Grey. Bro, I don't know what they be doing over there, what they be experimenting with, but man, we had this one I forgot what the brand was called, but they had like 16 different assortments of teas and shit,
Mm.
and it was amazing.
Yo,
Yeah, you put flowers in that, you know, roots, spices, all the good shit.
yo, they have. I don't know how, because like tea is supposed to be made out of tea leaves, right?
Right.
Tell me how they have. It's a list. I think it's like three that really surprised me. No, four. They have gingerbread, like gingerbread tea. They have sugar cookie tea. They have lemon cake tea. They have
Yeah.
what's it called? What's it called? It's like freak. What is it called? Sugar cookie, gingerbread, lemon cake. It was one other one that I can't remember right now. But those teas, like you would think it like you're like, oh, like it throws you off so much.
See, to be honest, all you use a mesh bag and some hot water. You make it work.
Yeah, because
But
like
listen, hear me out. I have an affinity for bitter foods, right? And for some reason, plants only grow bitter foods, and people only make
that's
like
true.
good dishes out of bitter foods, like lemons. So no, people don't really use grapefruit. I love grapefruit though.
Careful, bro.
And
You ever had
Grapefruit,
grapefruit gummy candy,
nah.
dude?
Like,
There's like you know how like they have like the peach rings. Imagine that, but
oh
like
yeah.
grapefruit flavored, but it's not
I
as
ain't never
chewy.
have those though.
but
'Cause I don't
okay,
really eat candy like that
so
to be real. But yeah,
but Carson, speaking of candy, and we were talking about ginger. Did you ever like the ginger candies?
never ate them.
They're okay.
Nope.
Really?
They're okay.
The only like what is it? Only real candy I ate was Starburst, fruit by the foot for roll ups and that stuff.
Skittles.
And then like I had what is it? I had lollipops when I was a kid, but like nah, I don't do that no more. But pause. But what is it?
Because
In like middle school, um, I had Hershey Kisses, and those aren't bad to be honest. I don't even like chocolate like that. It's like I guess physical state you can call it. But Hershey Kisses go crazy, and I eat
Mm-hmm.
Pocky if you want to count that.
Mm-hmm.
Physical. What other state could chocolate be in?
Not like not physical. I meant like I
Chocolate
guess
liqueur. They have chocolate liqueur.
Solid.
what do you?
because
I don't even know how to explain it. Cause you know you
because
got chocolate
wait, hold
bar.
on.
I
Wait,
understand what you're trying to say.
Ginger,
Yeah, but
did
like
you like the
what
ginger
would you do? What
candies?
would you call a Hershey Kiss?
They were alright. It depends on what candy. 'Cause some of them are a little too much.
Because like a lot of people I know, like when I tried them and I ate them, people were like, "Ew, no, you like them? They're too strong. They're too strong."
They're for
And
they're weak.
every time, like
Oh yeah,
yeah,
they're not for
I felt like they were
the
weak,
weak
and I
minded.
felt like I was superhuman,
They're
and
different.
all this time I finally knew what it led up to because all this time it was just trying to tell me that I'm super straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Huh?
That's
if
what it
Oh,
all comes down to, because I'm super strict. That's the topic of today's podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the last podcast. Let's get right fucking into it. So
is
listen,
it a
there's
bird?
a new
Is it a plane? It's super straight.
there's a
This
new
nigga say he's
LGBT
straight, raised
there's
to
a
the
new
second.
LGBT contender on the block. Okay, we got the SS. We got the super street. It's LGBTIAQSS. Super
Bro said
straight.
bro said SS.
Super
Like
straight.
we got the Secret Service. Like
SOS,
he,
please.
he said S
Because
he said
because
SS Titanic.
whoa.
because we're here. We exist now. We're out here. We're tired of being denied. I hate this. Okay, I'm super straight. I'm
Nice.
super straight.
But yes, that was the original topic for today's podcast. If you don't know what we're talking about, in March of 2021, in the beginning of it, uh, there was this term that heterosexual people made. So because they felt like they were excluded from the LGBTQ plus community. So
What website did it start on?
I have no idea, but I know that Twitter, of course, Twitter was in an uproar.
I'm gonna be honest. I think I saw that shit on like. I know people don't really know about this, but like, it's some website called like 4chan.
Why do
You don't know about it? It's a good.
why
It's
why
a
do you
good
still
thing
use
you
it?
don't know about it.
Bro, you're on
Oh,
4chan, bro.
right.
No,
You're
I'm
on
not.
4chan,
Why
dog.
do you
No,
still
I
use
seen
it?
pictures of it. I
You're
don't
on
use that.
4chan?
No.
First
Bro,
Blockbuster,
no, no,
now 4chan.
No.
You just said you first
No,
saw it
no,
on
no,
4chan.
no, no, no.
This originated around this month.
Oh,
So,
I'm in all that. I just seen a
what do you
picture of
mean?
that shit
What do you
before.
mean? What do you mean? 4chan, oh boy?
Yeah.
So we don't?
Oh boy.
I
That's
How you
mentioned
see
it
it
to
on
you.
this is
4chan, but
what
you don't use
happened.
4chan?
It's like being a redditor that goes too deep.
It's like I can't know about something about being a part of it. Like what?
Listen,
No, that don't, bro. It's like, yo, it's like saying, bro, I went to this. I saw
He said, "Hit me up on
It's like I
MySpace."
saw. Where it's like you saw Jackson's post on MySpace?
No,
Like, bro,
cause
you better.
Okay, no, cause nah,
How
y'all
you see his
wildin'.
post if y'all
No,
never been on
wait,
MySpace?
no, cause
It's
y'all
like
ragging, cause y'all ragging on him for the
you
wrong
can't.
shit. People still use 4chan. People still do use 4chan. He's not wrong for saying that.
The point is
It's
I
just
saw a
the fact
picture.
that you do use 4chan.
Yeah,
That's my
you.
problem.
He said,
Why?
he said, "Add me on
Because
Facebook."
So what y'all So what y'all telling me is that you can't see a screenshot of some other social media
Bro,
on
no,
okay.
no, no. If it's a screenshot of something else
You
on
telling me that
another
I can't
social media, you
so
saw
I
it on
can't
that
so
social media.
I can't see a Twitter screenshot on Instagram is what you're telling me.
Bro, then you said I saw it on Instagram. You didn't say that. You said you saw it on 4chan. You on 4chan. If
I
I
did
see
not
a
say that.
Twitter, if
I
I
did not
see
say
a
it.
Twitter screenshot
Alright.
on Instagram, I'm saying,
No,
yo,
no,
I
you
saw this
got it,
post on
you
Instagram.
got it. It's done, you got it.
See that? When they
Nah,
ain't got
see
nothing
nothing.
else to say, that's what they say.
Nah,
Bro.
you
See?
got it. This
I
keep
do
going.
got it. Bro, it's nothing to be ashamed of. If you on
This
4chan, just say that.
yo.
If you on 4chan, just
Relax.
say that, bro. It's not. If you on 4chan, just say that. It's okay.
But yes, this term of super straight was created by not homosexual, heterosexual people.
Jesus.
Quite the contrary.
Yo.
By heterosexual people because they felt like they were being excluded from the LGBTIQ plus community, and so people who they created a term called super straight, which means a cisgendered person, meaning like a person who was born a male who was born a male, and who was also straight. Their preference is not they want to date, I guess, be in a relationship with someone who is also a cisgendered female. So a female who was born female is not transgender. Now this created an uproar, especially on Twitter, and of course other bunch of that when it goes to Twitter, it spreads to Instagram and all these other places. They it was an uproar because people saw this as transphobic because they were kind of excluding the transgender people from their I guess area of interest. And yeah, that's super straight for you.
Kick it off. What do you think about it?
Um, I think we should stop putting labels on things.
I
I
like that.
I like because the only reason why people feel excluded from certain things is because we put labels on things. The only reason why people are discriminated against is because you put a label on something, and you want your label, or you want your label to be higher than the next label. Let's say for example, like white and black, or European and African. The Europeans are like, we're a more developed country, and I identify as European, and I don't identify as African American. They split up a general term, mankind, into different subsections, and now those subsections are competing for uh, dominance. Now, if you take this to the LGBT community, let's say like you identify as gay, and someone identifies as heterosexual. Back in the day, even today, some heterosexual people see that they're higher than the homosexuals, or more superior than the homosexuals. So what do the homosexuals and other people do? They they create their own community that they can identify as. So then the heterosexual people felt like, oh dang, I'm being excluded. That's this is like the same thing as like middle class and low class. The low class feels excluded from the middle class because they can't really be inside that category. Or let's say like the parliament and the common people. The common people feel excluded from the parliament because they can't be in that thing. They don't have that privilege. And if we just don't put if we don't put labels on, especially something for something that's small, it's attraction. If we don't put labels on that, then there's no big problem. You like who you like. Just be yourself. As like Playboy Cardi said, he's being himself. He don't need no labels. He just chilling.
Hmm. I think we should put more labels on things until until people realize they actually mean nothing,
Hmm.
so that it could all come full circle, and then we end up with no labels again. Just because it feels like the only way the human race is gonna get it is to repeat its fucking mistakes, since nobody pays attention to history anyway.
I don't know. People pay attention to history when it has something to do with them.
Exactly.
They definitely do.
Really?
Convenient. I don't know. Everything, especially when it comes to attraction, is subjective.
Hmm.
And since starting the 20th century going into the 21st, that we're breaking down the boundaries of what some would say are like the natural, what we've just been like going with, you could say.
The
So it's
status
like,
quo.
yeah, and we're breaking down those walls now. So everything is just it's hazy. So it's like, you know, I really don't get it. What's the point of just like what you like you said. It's not that deep.
Like yeah, like for there to be a name, for there to be a label on something, it's kind of like we went years without a label or a name for anything. As just like if you're heterosexual, you're heterosexual. Just say that. It's cool, whatever. But I guess because I don't know, man. It's this generation, man. Generation G just finds things to argue about.
Oh,
Like, all right, because like I've talked this with Daniel a little bit. It's like just let people can have different opinions, and usually when someone has an opinion, you're not gonna be able to change their opinion. That's their thing. So instead of like trying to change this or trying to like say that they're wrong, but okay, I know that they're wrong, so I'm not going to mess with this person anymore. I'm going to move on and find people who I do mess with and share my opinions. And that's how communities are made. You don't need to break down another community for thinking something that you don't think about, or for not sharing the same opinions as you, because that's just not good. Like you're going to move into a world where people aren't allowed to have different opinions, and we talk about this. We talked about this on a different podcast about The when Donald Trump got banned from social media, like he had his opinion, and the mass majority, not mass majority, but a lot of people, and from the Democratic Party, they're like, oh no, it's not cool, and Twitter and all those other social medias blocked him because they didn't want him to share his message, they wanted him to share his opinion, and I don't think that's a very good thing.
Like no matter which way you look at it, people have to understand that there is no right or wrong, especially when it comes to things like this.
Yeah.
It's just all opinion. So you might think the other person is wrong, and they're thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So instead of trying to and arguing over something that it's not going to change, just keep it pushing. Just let other people live their lives, and that's that.
Hmm. Now, does the term super straight mean transphobia?
No.
Mm.
If you're gonna sit down and have parades and a whole month dedicated to yourself because you want me to respect your preference, you should have the same decency of respect to respect my preference on who I choose to date and have an intimate relationship with.
Mm.
Even if that means excluding certain individuals, not out of discrimination, but because that's just simply not what I like.
Hmm.
And I have the right
Yeah,
to choose that.
Yeah, because
So by saying that out loud, I'm alerting people that if you try to advance with me, maybe you do have a shot, but more than likely than not, I'm gonna tell you, please step away from me.
mm. Now I agree because I don't think that is transphobic because let's say like super straight is a legitimized thing. It's just a cis person who's attracted to other cis people. That's like being mad at a gay person for not wanting to date uh a gay male or gay man for not wanting to date a straight female.
exactly.
Because like
And it's like yeah,
no, go ahead.
but I was just gonna say, like you said earlier, you put a label like cis. It was in the street. You put a label on it,
Hmm.
so now it's a separate thing.
Hmm.
So saying that separate thing that you made likes only that separate thing. You like it since you put a label on it, then people aren't just people anymore. It's you identify. So of course people are gonna be attracted to usually what they also identify as.
Exactly. But this is where we are. This is America.
Yeah, I don't know.
This
This
is America.
yeah, I don't know. Because like I think the creation of the creation of the term was stupid, and then the backlash that people gave for for the creation of the term was stupid. People nowadays get triggered so easily off of something they could just nod and just brush off their shoulders and just be like, okay, yeah, that's weird, but okay. Because I think it's I don't know because I'm gonna bring it back to like it because it doesn't have to be political, but at the same time it does, or maybe
Mm-hmm.
not even like political, but like just like I guess like social because I'm trying to like because honestly the blend of social and political have become blended for me over for like the past like couple of years.
It's hand in hand, 100%.
Because like,
100%.
or let's say you have gay rights. All right, where am I going with this? Let's say you have gay rights. So they have the right to date whoever they want. That's true, and that of course that goes hand in hand with politics because apparently like marriage and government that's like a thing. Now I forgot where I was going with this guy. I had like a a half analogy, but I forgot like it turned to a quarter analogy. Now it's gone.
Straight rights are already implied.
What'd you say?
Straight rights are already implied.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Like, it all goes back to labeling things. Like, and I know it sounds repetitive, but this what we have to deal with in today's society. Everything has a label, and it's not good. It's not good to label things. If you wanna, if you don't want to label things, I mean, like, no. All right. This generation and this society has turned into a point of labeling everything, but at the same time, they don't want to label things because I also want to bring this up about gender neutrality, right? You don't want to label genders because of clothes or toys or anything like that, right? Like I agree with that. Like clothes and toys and all that should be gender neutral. But like when you go on like social media or like YouTube and you see like the stories of transgender people who are they be like, yeah, well, like when I was growing up as a kid, I didn't feel like myself. Like I didn't feel like wearing the dresses. I didn't feel like playing with the Barbie toys. That itself is genderizing the toys and clothes that you fight for now to not be to not be put a gender on. Am I wrong?
You are
so,
not.
bro, I got two questions like that too. After you're done,
But I just think it's crazy how like we like you pe- people fight for not having labels, but at the same time they label everything else. But yeah, what were your questions?
all right? Okay, so before I say this is not to say that I don't support, and I I do not care what you want to do with your life. Do what you want to do. That's none of my business. It's not me. It's you.
Oh boy.
Do what you gotta do. These are honest questions. One, for example, like Brooke said, like the stories of people like coming out and transitioning and stuff like that, and like body dysphoria, and they feel uncomfortable in their own skin and stuff like that because they don't have the appearance. They were born in the wrong body. Right? If appearance isn't like that doesn't dictate what gender you are. It's about what you feel. Then what is there to feel like where does the dysphoria come from if it doesn't matter what you look like you have it as a separate thing as in you because you're changing your appearance to look a certain way because that's the way that you feel you are, but then again said that it doesn't matter what you look like, so what's the point of changing in the first place?
Mm-hmm. It's counterintuitive.
Yeah.
Okay, because I've thought about that for like for a while now. Because like it's very counterintuitive because I feel like I'm a person that's like I'm like I understand like the gender neutral thing like that, and I accept it. Like shoot, I'll paint my nails and wear dresses if I want to, if that's what I want to do. And I also feel like I've adapted into my life that these things are not girl things, these things are not boy things, and that's just normal to me now. But it seems like the people who are supposed to mostly support, it seems like it seems like I don't know if it's like just like my mindset, but it just seems like they're making it kind of like worse for themselves because of it might be just a society and the way things are because things have been this way for so long that's hard to break out of it, and that is now their mindset. But I think if they make a choice that extreme, then they should also kind of be fully one way instead of contradicting themselves. Because like okay, the easiest way to explain this is that they we spent years and years to try to segregate sex and gender, right? But
Mm-hmm.
but and I've noticed, I've just noticed like how society works and stuff like that, and just like we went backwards. We totally went backwards, and
Yeah.
we went backwards in terms of making sex and gender the same thing. Like
We're so
let's
close to being back to monkey.
honestly, because like let's say like being gay is not feminine. It was seen as like if you're a quote unquote feminine guy, that you're gay or something like that. And of course you can wear what you want to wear, but if a gay man, let's say he felt comfortable in basketball shorts and a t-shirt or quote unquote masculine clothes, but then that's like when they come out, right? Then they start wearing quote unquote feminine clothes, or speaking in a more quote unquote feminine voice, or doing more quote unquote feminine things. And it's like if being gay is not feminine, then why, or quote unquote feminine? Because again, feminine is gender is not a thing. Gender neutrality all the way. But if you're going to put if you're going to associate a certain sex with a certain gender, and you think that's bad, then why would you support it, or why would you promote it?
Now, just a question for a little understanding. So I make sure I'm getting this right.
Hmm.
Gender is the is like the thought process, and then sex is the physical,
See, gen,
right? Like, is that the mindset? Gender is the mindset.
I guess
You
so.
know,
But see, the thing is, because I'm leaning towards that, like, gender is not a thing. Gender is completely just, it's not even a thing anymore.
yeah, it wouldn't make sense.
There's only sex. The sex is what you were born with, what chromosomes and shit you have.
Hmm.
Gender is not a thing because you can dress however you want. There's not there's no like there's no s- there's no like sexual orientation for clothes or toys or products or something like this or something like that.
I guess it shouldn't even be a stigma anyway because they wear it in other cultures too.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's
It's
really
Western
just
society.
about for me it's more just about like how you rock it. Like if it doesn't look good on you,
It don't look good on you.
then
Where
it just don't look good.
I just, yeah, I'm with Brooks. I don't think it doesn't make sense for it not to, because if it does exist, then things have to be separated.
hmm
There's no, it has to be. But the thing that's being said is that it isn't, that anything closed is just closed. Toys are toys. Like, so gender can't exist if, unless,
But how far are
unless
we
when you
getting rid
say,
of these labels? Because like, are you saying like just have big bathrooms now?
no, because bathrooms are based off of sex. And that
Yeah,
could only be two.
yeah.
Unless, I don't know, y'all gonna come
No,
up with
I
something
mean
else. I don't know.
there's hermaphrodites. There's
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and of course
Isn't that,
the sex is also like a it's like a what you call it, like a what's it called, a spectrum, because like somebody can have like more, like, I guess, one second. Yes. Yeah.
I
But
think you
yeah,
was gonna go into like,
All right.
I don't know, like a,
since
the,
there are hermaphrodites, there's kind of three,
three. Yeah, okay.
but
And,
yeah,
but past
people
that,
do
like,
pull
I
out
don't
that
know
there's
what else.
more than two chromosomes that people could be born through. There's like at least 12 or something.
See,
Yeah,
all right, but
there's a spectrum.
that wouldn't like, wouldn't that just, wouldn't that just, like, let's say like,
Like XXXX or
yeah, that
XXY.
that would just give you like, it would be like a guy with a feminine body, or See, that doesn't make sense. A person with male genitalia with a quote unquote feminine body, right?
Mhm.
Wouldn't that be what that is with the
I guess
other chromosomes?
I don't fully understand it. I
Because
don't
what else could you be
yeah I don't because like
other than those three?
I don't fully understand it because like I guess like the only way the only way you could explain it is by saying that gender is a thing and like this means you're feminine, this means you're masculine, because in my eyes like, I don't fully agree with like that there being a spectrum. Like I've been told that there is, or I've seen online that there's a spectrum, but at the same time everybody's body is different. It does one like
Right.
just because you have like a certain body part doesn't make you more feminine or more masculine. That's just your body.
But people got to choose one. It's either it's a thing or it's not a thing. It can't be both. It's been switching back and forth for conveniency, whether gender's a thing or not, and it doesn't make sense. It has to be either one or the other.
Because if gender is not a thing, then if gender is not a thing, because I guess gender is a social construct, then and sex is based purely off your genitalia. That's I think that's what it comes down to basically, and like the genitalia and the chromosomes, because people can change their genitalia, but the genitalia that you're born with, and the chromosomes that you were born with. Because I don't think you could change your chromosomes.
Hey man, give it 5 years.
Honestly,
But it's like, yeah. So if there is a spectrum, then gender has to exist because there's two sides of a spectrum.
it's a confusing concept for me. That's why I just like because like if I don't understand it, I'll eventually I will. But for right now, I'm just gonna like accept it how it is and see how things play out. I'm not going to discriminate against anyone. I'm not going to tell anyone that they're wrong.
100%. Yeah.
But I'm just gonna see how it plays out and see what's in store.
End of the day, yeah. Subjective. People gotta. It's subjective. Like no matter on every side of everything. When in World War II, they was going against Hitler. Hitler thought he was right, and
Hmm.
so did everybody else. So that's the reason for everything. Opinions.
True.
Terrence, you got anything else to say about it?
I do not honestly. Topics like these are always kind of iffy.
Why you say that?
I get canceled in 5 years. But whatever.
Maybe one day, but
Yeah, that's why I said
but
5 years. You
I'm
know
just
what I'm
like
saying? 5 years. Give it five
even at the
years.
same time, we're just sharing our opinions. And if people don't like our opinions, they don't have to watch our stuff. But there are people who dare share similar opinions, and that is why communities are made. So if you want to be part of our community, you
Yeah.
can check us out on all social platforms and stuff like that. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Um, I'm trying to set up. I might try to set up something for Discord. And of course Instagram. I have to figure out how to what to do with that as well.
I
With
mean, you kind
this,
of said that. You said that like that was not supposed to be something that we save for towards the end of the podcast.
I mean, if you don't have anything else to say for this, I guess this is the end of the podcast.
I mean, yeah.
Bro.
I,
Um.
unless you want to have a silent podcast.
So, yeah, I am down for that, but I just want to let
You know what
everyone
we
know.
should talk about
Super
on this?
straight.
Oh God.
Which we talk about, Daniel.
Uh, like, all right. So people are trying to normalize what was once not normal, but eventually, all the things that weren't normal will become normal, and the things that were normal will become not normal. So it's just gonna repeat itself like over and over again because the unnormal will always trying to be normal.
And give examples.
Oh, let me call.
Mm. So the things that are normal that are not normal will try to be normal. It's gonna be a forever ending cycle of things trying to be normalized. I want to start that off by saying like not tech, normal doesn't mean anything, but to societal standards, normal just means something that's accepted by the mass amount of people. Well, at least that's my definition for normal. We're moving into into a society that like every like there's I guess as I said before that there's not supposed to be different opinions on things because people see different opinions as wrong and they get radical about it. I I don't think I'm a person that shares that sense of sense of radicality or what if that's even a word. Um, because I'm pretty accepting of things. I try to understand things and I try to you know like make sure I know that these things exist and if I agree with it, I agree with it. If I don't, then I'm gonna just leave it alone.
Mm.
But what were you
That's
finish your statement,
that's
Daniel,
fair.
for the normal thingy thing?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say that like in society, like talking about society right now, what's like society's like standard right now is cancel culture and well, Western society, I won't say everywhere, but cancel culture, um, LGBTQ plus, like those things. I'm not gonna list everything, but you understand the direction that I'm going in. Those are like societies, they're or at least becoming society standard. So when it comes to things like super straight and stuff like that,
Super straight.
the only reason, yeah, the only reason why those things are created because people feel like they're becoming the minority, like they're feeling like left out, like you said, like they're the minority. So what's becoming normal is pushing out what is quote unquote normal, and then it's just gonna revert itself, just like 80s and 90s styles coming back and different styles of music coming back, and it's the same thing. Everything will repeat itself.
Well, I I guess your first mistake there is saying like that homo like the LGBT plus community is not normal.
No, no, no,
Yeah,
no, no, no.
I
I'm
know what you're saying,
saying like
I know what you're saying because
normal in society standards,
I know
like
like normal society's terms again normal society's terms something that's accepted by the mass majority of people, which it wasn't back in the
yeah,
day, and nowadays is coming into is becoming a more societal standard. I understand what you're saying.
yeah. That's what I'm trying to. Yeah,
Yeah, that's it. Because that yeah, I always just gotta preface things because
yeah. So I don't, get mistaken
it
for
takes
anything.
it takes one soundbite.
Yeah,
But yeah, I understand what you're saying. Like the whole thing started up because people want to be they don't want to be the outsiders because being the outsider is it's kind of like people like you have more people who disagree with you. And nobody wants to disagree with people. That's not a really good situation. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I all I know is that all I know is that we're moving into a world, and I think it's for the better if we fully do it. But since we're in the mid phase of it right now, but like we're moving to society where not like where nothing is really concrete anymore. Because once things are concrete, then you'll have the people who feel like outsiders, and you'll have the standards, right? Now, because like if there are no standards or no concrete things and everything is fluid, then what where then fluid has no structure. That's like it's a good and a bad thing because of course everybody will eventually be accepted for who they are, which is a good thing. But for well that's just like for preferences like that that's whatever. But for other like structural type things like say like as you said like male and female bathrooms, you have male and female sports. That's another thing that I want to bring up because Joe Biden did sign a executive order saying that like if you identify as female or if you identify as male, you can play.
I believe we talked about that.
Yeah, we talked about it on the what you call it in the group chat, but we never talked on the podcast.
No.
Yeah, but like if you identify as male or female, you can play for that respective sport. And yeah, cause like that's like when you say when people hear that, it's like there's a loss of structure because there's a lot of confusion. Like let's say like I go volunteer for like the or if I try out for like the female the female softball team, the girls softball team, then the structure there is that there's two different sports because there's two different capabilities. And if you think that if you think there's not two different capabilities, you can look at every single sport, such as track and field. Um, yeah, track and field, such as like the hurdles. The women's hurdles are placed lower than the male hurdles. You can look at shot put. The women's shot put is less weight than the male shot put, and there's many other sports that are like that. They have specifications for each sex because there are capabilities, difference of capabilities. But once you break that structure down, then I think it'll be a lot more confusing, and I don't think everybody will accept that. Even people who think they're fully accepting of everything, you'll under once you understand that there some things were put in place because it's to keep people safe and it's to keep things from falling apart completely, and so that there has to be structure for things to work and for there not to be complete confusion. I forgot what the beginning of my sentence was, so I don't know how to finish it. But yeah, you get the gist.
Yeah. Yeah. People, you can't ignore the and the quote unquote what you're born with. You can't ignore the science, but not this. See, I can't say anything. You
You
can't ignore the physical advantages a male might have over or the appearance
generally.
differences generally. Yeah. That, yeah.
You can't ignore
Yes.
the differences. Just say differences.
Yeah.
You can't ignore differences in you can't ignore differences in male and female. You can't ignore differences in one and let's say like Republican or Democrat. You can't ignore the differences in anything because as we said in the middle of this podcast and the beginning of this podcast, everyone's gonna have their own different opinion. Everyone's gonna have a difference in they're gonna have an objection. They're gonna have is everything everybody is different. We have to accept everybody because they're different because nothing is normal. Well, nothing is normal, but in society terms, we all know what normal means. But I mean, yeah, that's about it. Not like nothing is really normal. Nothing is really um, one way. Sometimes, well, every a lot of things are one way or another, and we have to acknowledge that so that it doesn't cause a lot of confusion that we have in today's society.
Especially since because all that confusion really leads to people being hateful, and then there's more people that feel like they're being discriminated against, and that's more hurt feelings, and then suicide rates still go up, and it's not good because at the end of the day, those are still human lives.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, at the end of the day, like who you like. Nobody, I don't think anybody really cares who you like. If there's someone does care who you like and stuff like that, then they're just not a very. I guess like that's their
They're kind of
opinion,
just
but
they like you.
Loser.
that's just like
Loser.
I guess people kind of have to move with society if you because of course outsiders don't feel like being outsiders and they feel discriminated against and all that. Why is my Discord blowing up? Whatever. Sorry if you hear the Discord notifications, but that's all good. But yeah, I mean that's all I have to say about the topic. If anyone else has any comments or anything, you can use the YouTube. You can use the YouTube comment section to comment your opinions. You can yeah, if you find any other way to reach out to us, you can share your opinions. And yeah, that's all I gotta say about that.
This has been Daniel.
Brooks.
Tadits. Carson
And
Love.
we're the Super Straight Squad.
I don't know about that. I just again,
Yeah, yeah,
I don't identify with Nega Street. But yeah, if you enjoyed this podcast and if you listened all the way through, we appreciate you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your what's it called? Attention. And hopefully our conversation uh made you think about like how you think as a person. Maybe you want to adapt something. Maybe you want to get rid of something. Maybe you want to share the message. Maybe share some type of message with other people so that like you can see find similarities and find a community that you belong in from because of your opinion or anything like that. And if you don't agree with our opinion, then you can let us know because I accept all opinions and I think the purpose of life for me at least is to find out like what everyone's opinion is, what everybody's thought process is, so that I know so that I can relate to people and I know what I can conversate and converse with these people and how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's also fun reading the comments
yeah,
Right.
when there are any.
exactly. Yeah, so if you wanna, you can like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. You can listen. You can add the podcast to a playlist or something like that. Share with your friends, your family, your neighbors, your dog, your cat, your parakeet. And any last words?
Please look me in the eye when you kill me.
All right.
Amen. Amen. Say it ain't so.
Also, next week you will be getting the first of many movie podcasts of the year. There should be about one a month coming out. Depends on how the schedule is. But yes, next week you will enjoy our me and Terrence's movie podcast where we watch Django. So stay tuned for that.
And also coming soon, comic book podcast for people who like everything.
Comic book related. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have new ideas coming out. We have new content coming out. So stay tuned. It's gonna be a long but wild ride. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy the ride. And when you get off, maybe you'll refer someone else to the ride to see if they can join on. Yeah, goodbye.